The world's most favorite Mac just got supersized. Since its grand reveal in a manila envelope back in January 2008, the MacBook Air has been synonymous with portability. Dubbed the world's thinnest notebook at the time of its inception, it's always been a sexy 13 inches. Except that one time it came in a fun-sized 11-inch model. I loved my 11-inch MacBook Air. It was the smallest Mac I have ever owned. And since then, I have valued portability above all. Recently though, I worked on a video that made me ask, would I rather have a large screen Mac notebook instead? Well, now I can have both. This is the new 15-inch MacBook Air, featuring everything I love about my 13-inch baby, including its portability, but now with a larger display. Hi, I'm MICHAELJOSH, your gadget matchmaker, and over the last decade, I've made it my job to show people around the world that tech can be easy, fun, and exciting. On this channel, I give you special access to the products I review, the events I attend, and all the interesting people I get to meet along the way. So, if this is the content that you want to see, give this channel a like and subscribe. I'll work on my voice and help you find the right gadget to match your needs. This is our 15-inch MacBook Air review. Earlier this month, I did a long-term review on the 16-inch MacBook Pro. And while I recommended it to users needing the most powerful Mac with the largest display, I said I couldn't wait to switch back to a more portable Mac laptop. After 4 months of use, I was sure that, at least for me, I'd choose portability over a large screen any day. But then, last week, Apple announced the 15-inch MacBook Air. And now, I might need to bite my tongue. In this video, I give another big screen Mac notebook a try, and I have a feeling I might just change my mind. If you've already seen my 13-inch MacBook Air review, then my overall thoughts will be very familiar. So let's spend the first part of this video diving into what's different. As you know, on this channel, we love putting together buyer's guides, but sometimes that can be quite a headache. You see, manufacturers will often be inconsistent and sometimes illogical when coming up with SKUs for their different devices. So much so that a screen size difference, be it on a smartphone or a laptop, will mean more compromises for those who want the smaller device on offer. The good news is, when it comes to the MacBook Air, Apple has chosen to keep things simple. Intrinsically, the 13-inch and 15-inch MacBook Airs are pretty identical. They're both thin and light, both powered by the same Apple M2 chip, both have the same great keyboards with the Touch ID, large trackpads, both with improved 1080p FaceTime cameras, both with MagSafe 3 fast charging. Sure, the 15-inch model has a larger battery, but accounting for the fact that a larger display consumes more power, it evens up in the end. So the only real difference is that instead of a 4-speaker system, the 15-inch model features a 6-speaker system. And that's just because the machine has a larger chassis. Both still support spatial audio. So let's do a quick sound test to see if you can hear a difference. So yeah, just as Apple puts it, if you've decided on a MacBook Air, pick a size and then pick a color. The MacBook Air is available in the usual silver and space gray, midnight, which is black with touches of blue, and the model I have, Starlight, which is a champagne gold color. All right, so now let's get that portability question out of the way. How portable really is the 15-inch MacBook Air? Let's start with weight. The 13-inch MacBook Air weighs 2.7 pounds, while the 15-inch MacBook Air weighs 3.3 pounds. This makes it a tad bit lighter than the 14-inch MacBook Pro and significantly lighter than the 16-inch MacBook Pro, which is a hefty 4.7 pounds. And while those numbers are helpful, it's definitely much easier to appreciate it in person. It really does feel like an Air. In terms of profile, it's still significantly thin, almost as thin as the 13-inch model. Apple says it's the thinnest 15-inch laptop around today. Here's how it looks atop a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and now versus the 14-inch MacBook Pro, and finally versus the 13-inch MacBook Air. Because of its thinness, I was surprised that it fits decently well in my 20-liter Peak Design backpack. It doesn't fit in the laptop pouch, but I was pleasantly surprised and grateful that it fits in my favorite Issey Miyake backpack. But the true test is traveling with this laptop, and I have a few trips planned over the next few months, so please do check back and I will report my official thoughts on the portability discussion. For the benefit of those who aren't caught up, let's also do a MacBook Air versus MacBook Pro comparison. The MacBook Air is the Apple laptop I recommend to most folks. The MacBook Pro comes with more powerful chips, either the M2 Pro or the M2 Max. The MacBook Air has a fanless design, meaning it's also going to be super quiet. The MacBook Pros have built-in fans to dissipate heat for better sustained performance. And finally, among other things, the MacBook Air has a limited number of ports, just 2 USB-C Thunderbolt ports, plus MagSafe, and a headphone jack. The MacBook Pros have 3 USB-C, plus full-sized HDMI, and an SD card reader. Of course, with all those upgrades, they're also heavier. Okay, so now, why choose a large screen laptop? If you haven't tried gaming on a Mac, you should. Apple has come a long way over the past few years. There's Apple Arcade, Apple's subscription-based service, which offers a range of titles to choose from. There's also popular, more graphics-intensive titles like No Man's Sky and Resident Evil. Thanks to the power of M2, gameplay is smooth and buttery, and with a constant, impressive frame rate. M2 also makes power-intensive tasks also possible. I work a lot on Final Cut Pro, and the 15-inch Air takes it like a champ. My review device has 64 gigabytes of unified memory, so I thought, why not do the same exact export test that I did for my 16-inch MacBook Pro review. Here are the export times for a 15-minute video. The 15-inch MacBook Air took 23 minutes and 27 seconds, while my 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M2 Max chip took 8 minutes and 24. The results are pretty good, considering the former top-of-the-line 16-inch Intel-based MacBook Pro took 1 hour and 22 minutes. Sorry, I might have digressed a little. That larger display is definitely great if you're working on apps that have a lot of windows in them. Final Cut Pro is a great example. There's plenty of space for long timelines, the media browser, the preview window, and still enough room for bringing up the inspector. Another thing I love about a large screen display is the ability to open 2 windows side by side. If you tap and hold on this green circle, you can tile an app to either side of the screen. And how can we talk about a big display without talking about watching videos? It goes without saying that this 15.3-inch Liquid Retina display is perfect for that too. New Mac laptops released in the last 2 years or so come with a MagSafe 3 power port. That's good for several reasons. First, one of your precious 2 USB-C ports is freed up for your other accessories. More importantly, you get an ingenious magnetic solution that keeps the cable attached, but also releases quickly if you tug on it. Meaning if someone trips over your power cable, your laptop is less likely to come with it. Apple includes a braided MagSafe 3 cable in the box, color matched to the color of your MacBook Air. My 13-inch Midnight MacBook Air came with this dark bluish cable. My 15-inch Starlight MacBook Air comes with this yellowish cable. Also in the box, Apple includes this 35-watt dual USB-C port compact adapter. I love this charger and always travel with one. But it's also worth pointing out that Apple also sells a brand new 70-watt USB-C power adapter. It's a $59 purchase from the Apple Store, but if you order online, you can customize your order before checkout, and this 70-watt charger won't cost you extra. While not as portable, you may want this charger if you want to get Apple's promised fast charging speeds, which is up to 50% in 35 minutes. So, is the 15-inch MacBook Air your gadget match? This one is pretty easy. Ask yourselves two questions. First, do I need a large screen laptop? While still undecided, I definitely think this big screen lifestyle is definitely tempting. Second, how much are you willing to pay? The 13-inch MacBook Pro is now $100 cheaper. It starts at $1,099. The 15-inch MacBook Air is $1,299. So that's a $200 premium for that larger display. For even more context, the cheapest 16-inch MacBook Pro starts at $2499, almost double the price. I think that's worth pointing out because back in the day, if you wanted or needed a large screen Mac laptop, that was your only option. Now you have a cheaper option, not to mention a more portable one too. It's so easy to recommend the MacBook Air. It's a well-built, thin and light laptop with an affordable price tag. It has enough power for most users, and it's complemented by a rich Apple ecosystem. Just like the 13-inch model, the 15-inch MacBook Air also comes highly recommended with the GadgetMatch seal of approval. And that was a 15-inch MacBook Air review. I just got back from a trip to Istanbul, and I think I might need to take the next day off to rest my voice because I have the Mac Studio review coming soon. If you don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel, and while you're at it, hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we publish. Follow me on social media for all the behind the scenes fun stuff, and for news and updates, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm MICHAELJOSH. Thanks for dropping by.